I told you guys I was gonna have some music today. Oh yes. Ooh yo yo. Peace. Hello everyone. This is Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. Hey, living your best life now. How you guys doing? I hope well, because I am doing great, and I hope you are doing wonderful also. We're gonna have a great program. Oh, I just feel like dancing the whole show. But I'm gonna dance for the next 30 seconds. And I want you guys to dance with me. Oh yes. We gotta work together. Everybody. Are you guys doing okay? Is everybody doing okay out there? Let me see the hearts if you're doing all right, because I'm doing excellent. Yes. Hello, everybody. Let me see who tuned in. Come on now. Rubén, Rogelio. Oh, Blaze. ¿Cómo están? How are you, Marcia? Gail. How's everybody? I guess everybody's doing great. I just had to have some music on today. And it is lovely. It's just a lovely day. And I hope that all of you see all the hearts, you see all the likes. I love it. I just love it. Let's start our program today. It is gonna be awesome. You know why? God shared some things with me. Oh my Lord. For the last couple of days, I've been meditating. I have been just thanking God for all the things that He did, doing, and is going to do for me. Tonight, it's going to be an awesome show. This is Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. I am the author of Unveiling the Illusion. Know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, after tonight, you're going to know who you are, because it's all about living your best life now. It's not about tomorrow. It's not about 10 years from now when you retire. It's the now. And I'm going to tell you, I am going to talk about loving me, moi, because I discovered the importance of loving me. You got to love yourself. You have to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, I don't understand how you can even love anybody. You have to love yourself. So we're going to start this show tonight. I want to say a little shout out to some other people that just tuned in. I want to thank my husband, first of all, for giving me this support, giving me this love. This man, oh my goodness. He gave me this beautiful card today, and I just cried, because I am telling you, it is so important for those that's around you to give you that support, because oftentimes we do not get it, especially women. We don't get that support from a boyfriend or husband, or, you know, those that's living with us on a daily basis. And I want to tell you, men, give your wife that support no matter what she's doing, as far as business, as far as, you know, just thank her for actually doing the things around the house, you know, taking care of the kids. Just give her a card, some flowers one day, and say, baby, thank you for the things that you do. And you know, this goes around too. Women, you have to do the same for men. Thank him. Put them the little notes in their bags when they're on the way to work, leave it in the car, and say, baby, I love you. And that's the key. That is the key. And that's why loving yourself, it brings out all of those positive things. And I just think that it is time to start loving yourself. Let's get the program together. And I want to talk about a lot of things. But this show it's also about unleashing God's power within you. See, I spoke about that before in my other show, but in order to love yourself, it is important to understand God's power within you. And if you don't know it, I am going to talk about it. I'm also going to talk about what that power is. Oftentimes we're talking about God's power, but let's define what God's power is tonight. And I think that we are going to be doing some great things after this show. The title of the show, as I said before, is Loving Me, Living Your Best Life Now. That's what it's about. I'm going to say this. I have reached the conclusion that God's people, including myself, I'm not going to exclude myself, including myself, has spent most of our life disregarding and ignoring God's great power within us. And this is why the world is the way it is, because we're running around thinking that we don't have any power. We're watching how the world is going crazy, and we're sitting back. I don't know why we're sitting back and not doing anything, but we're sitting back because we don't think that we have God's power within us. And those that are telling themselves that they have God's power, somehow they're still sleeping. They still don't know and understand that God's power is action. God's power is not for you to sit there and say, I have God's power. So we are disregarding and ignoring the greatest thing in our lives, the power of love. Yes. The power of love is the key to your success. If you don't understand the power of love, then we're going to have problems. We're going to have problems in our lives, period. You have to know what that power is. The power of love is the key, because if you don't have love in your heart, oftentimes we're saying that we have love, but we're manifesting something else. You can tell anyone what you have, but it's actually what you are manifesting. The power of greatness. You're talking about how great you are, how great I am, Dr. Melida. Oh, I'm great. But it's what I'm manifesting. It's not what I'm saying. You see, for the spirit and energy, God gave us all the tools, all the things that we need. I'm going to give you an example. There are some people that say, I'm timid, I am shy. Do you consider that God's greatness, God's power? Let me unveil some of the illusions here tonight. There were those that said, oh, she's shy. And you make it seem like that's okay or that's nice. No, it's not. Because God is a God of power. God is a God of greatness. He did not create you to be shy, to be timid. That is not God's nature for us. That is not what he wants for us. He wants us to be bold, but in a positive way. He wants us to do the great things here on earth that he assigned us to. So before you start talking about how much you love yourself, you have to have that power, God's power within you, in order to say that you love yourself. Remember, God created us in our likeness, in his likeness, and greatness. So if you're saying that you're shy, if you're saying that you're timid, if you're saying all these things, that is not of God. Who is that from? That is the question. God did not, let me tell you, God did not give the lacking in self-assurance, courage. We are constantly being surrounded and bombarded by all the negative things of this world. Remember that. It is time, my people, to unleash this great power God gave us to protect ourselves and others. Not just us, but ourselves. So what happened is that when I discovered that I love myself, loving me, I began to discover God greatness as well. So loving me, I am not going to do the things that's going to hurt me. You see, I could see a person drinking, smoking, getting high, doing all these things, and they say, I just love me and I love you. Well, see, if you are destroying your mind, if you are destroying your body, if you are destroying everything that is around you, how can you say that you love you? You are not manifesting the powers that's within you. What you are doing is destroying the powers that's within you. So the most important thing to remember, that when you love yourself, when you talk about loving yourself, you also have to understand who created that body, who created your mind, who created all these things for you, the whole being, your creation, and then you turn around and destroy it with all these negative things. Can't do that. If you love yourself, you're going to love the creation, God's creation, what he created, you see. I'll give you an example. We are living as though miracles has ceased, right? Miracles doesn't exist anymore. Well, I'm here to tell you that miracles exist. And why I brought that in? I brought that in because loving me, I discovered that all the things that was going wrong for me, I got rid of. That's a miracle in itself. I'm going to tell you, when I started loving myself and I looked around me and I said, oh my God, I'm allowing this person to disrespect me. And these are the very closest people that was around me. I'm allowing this person to destroy me. I'm allowing this person to tell me negative things and I'm accepting it. You see, once I started telling myself, why am I allowing this, is because I didn't love myself. Didn't love myself. So I asked God, how do I get to love me? Because there's so many people out there, there's so many of you out there are saying, well, how do I do that? It's very simple. Stop allowing people to mistreat you. Open your eyes, seek truth. And that's what I did. I stopped allowing people to mistreat me, and I'll tell you something. Once I woke up and I didn't say anything, I just started changing. The person looked at me and said, oh my God, you're changing. Because those that are mistreating you, they know that they are. And just by you changing and transforming, they say, oh, there's something about her. She's not the same. There's something about him. He's not the same. What you're doing is that you're seeking truth. You're seeking goodness. You're seeking peace. You're seeking joy. And you're seeking love. So once you start seeking all those things, you combine all of it, and then something happened. That positive energy start coming to you, and then you start embracing it, and then you start loving it. You see, what you're really loving is you. You're loving that positive energy that God is just pouring down to you. He's saying, love me. Listen to me straight. Love me, and you love yourself. You see, oftentimes we're saying we love God, but somehow we're going through nightmare. There's something wrong with that picture. And I'm a witness. I keep saying that I love God, but somehow I am still going through a nightmare. All these things are happening to me. So I really listened to God and I said, okay, God, I'm going to love you. I am not just going to worship you. I'm going to love you. I am not just going to church and sit on that bench and say, hallelujah, praise the Lord. I am going to build a relationship with you because I need to get to know you. And something happened. I started loving myself. You see, I have a message for churches, pastors, bishops, priests. They are no longer protecting or guiding God's people, but abusing, raping, controlling, manipulating God's creation. Be careful. Be careful. Because oftentimes people are going to these institutions as a safe haven, and they walk out worse than when they walk in. One of the things I also realized that we have led to believe that the places where people try to find peace and refuge and kindness and love, actually most of these institutions are filled with evil and destruction. Why is that? Why is that happening? Why anytime that we are trying to find a refuge, we are finding evil? And that is happening today. It's just like what we heard the other day. There's 1,000 children molested by priests, 300 priests. We are trying to find refuge in these institutions, but what we find is evil. How can you love yourself? And I'm going to talk today. How can you love yourself? Priests, all 300, some of you have died already. How can you preach love and you're causing what you have caused? Evil. So let's talk about the power of God. Because when we talk about power, we have to define what that power is. You see, God's power equals positive energy. It's a positive energy, which equals action. You see, God's power is a positive energy, which equals action. So God is a God of action. So when I recognized that, I said, well, I am a woman of action. You see, it comes from a force which is irresistible, which in turn comes from the ocean, God's might, the eternity of God's illimitable power. It's a power without limits or end. It's a power without limits or end. Most of you would tell me the sky is the limit. I want you to listen to that phrase very well. The sky is the limit. You see, for me, it can't be. We were taught to say all these things. So your mind is now limited because you're saying that the sky is the limit. How can that be? Is the sky limit for God? I don't think so. You see, God is an energy. Okay? God is action. I'm talking about the power of God. God is power. God is forceful. God is supreme. God is extraordinary. God is extreme. The word immeasurable, He is. God is immeasurable. So let's go back and talk. If God is action, so am I. If God is power, so am I. If God is immeasurable, so am I. If God is supreme, so am I. If God is extraordinary, so am I. If God is God, then all that power is within me because He created me to be. How dare you say things are limited for you? There's nothing limited for God, so there's nothing limited for me. You see, the word literally means immeasurable, literally means to go far beyond the ability to measure, a degree which exceed extraordinary, a point on a scale of extent. It expresses something that cannot be measured by any scale we know. So in other words, if God cannot be measured, neither can I. Hello? Are you guys listening to me today? If If God cannot be measured, then I cannot be measured. I cannot be measured with no man on earth because God created me immeasurable. Ha! And so are you. Don't measure yourself with your colleague. Don't measure yourself with your schoolmate. Don't measure yourself with anybody. You are immeasurable. You cannot be measured. It points to something that is extraordinary, extreme, like I said, far more, much greater, and to a far greater degree. So if you understand the power of God within you, that is who you are. If you have the understanding of knowing that you are extreme, that you are supreme, that you are a woman of God, and if you are or a man of God, then you have to unleash all of that power within you and change that mindset that this world and this system have taught you. And when you understand that, then you can say, I love me. You see, God's power has no limit. And guess what? It's free. God's power has no limit whatsoever. You see? So, Christians are to realize how much spiritual power we have to do God's will. Do you understand what I'm saying? So take a look at this. All of the churches are around us. I'm going to give you an example of Chicago, because I used to live in Chicago, and the south and the west side. You have all these temples, all these churches in the midst of crimes. 60 people just got shot in the city of Chicago, I believe, last week. 60 within a week. Now, if the members or the leader of the church understand the power within them, that positive energy, that mind of not being limited, if they understand God's power within them, they will be out in the street teaching, saving lives. Because God is God of action. God is not a God that you walk in a church, you sit, you raise your hand, you pray, and you go back home quietly. That's being safe, waiting to be saved. God is power. Where is your power? Where is your power? Where is your boldness? Where is your supreme being that God created for you to change the world, for you to change yourself and your mindset from all that is going on in this world? Where is it? You see, and this is, I'm going to address this now to the pastors, because this is about loving you. You cannot love your congregation, and they're sitting there years after years in the same position spiritually with no power. But you're telling them that you have all the power. But if you have all the power, then your congregation should also have the power of God within them, not just you. Not just you. You see? So you have God's unlimited power. You, available to you. And once I realize that, I'm using it. You see, I am being bold. I am being fearless. I am doing and understanding what God has given me. I know what he gave me. That's why I can say, I know who I am. I can say I have a mind, an immeasurable mind. It's limitless. Stop telling yourself everything is limited and there is an end. There is no end for me, because there is no end for God. So if you are saying that you are following God and you want God to do this and do that, He already given you everything. You were created fearless. Your mind was created to not be in a box, but to be free to think. You have God's unlimited power available to you, and you're not using it. And if you're not using it, how can you know who you are? How do you know who you are? How do you know you love you? In order to love you, you have to understand the principles of who you are. Are you guys listening to me out there? You look quiet out there. Are you guys listening to me? You have to understand who you are. So when that negative force comes, they can't mess with you, because you have the power in you. You see, you are immeasurable. Love without an end. You see, I want to share this with you, and this is a testimony I want to share with you. And I think I've shared this with you, but for those of you that haven't heard it. I was sitting in a car and someone was driving me very close to me, and quiet. We were quiet in the car. And the person looked over to me and said, "You know, I've been trying to destroy you, but you're so strong." But they use a curse word too, not worth saying. And I got nervous in the car. And I'm going to tell you, I think for 30 seconds, fear kicked in. Because this person, when I said close to me, very close. And then I listened and I quietly thought about the statement. I've been trying to destroy you, but you're so strong. And then I asked the person, "Wow, how long have you been trying to destroy me?" And the person said, "From the beginning." Now, I thought about that and I said to myself, wow, I can't believe what I'm listening to. And I tell the person, "Stop the car." And the person said, "No." And I thought about it. The funny thing about that is this. In that time, all what I said tonight, I didn't know. I didn't know that I was powerful. That negative force have been trying to destroy me all my life. But then when I sat down yesterday and I thought about it, you see, I've been in action from the age of 12 with God. So even though I couldn't define the power within me, I knew I had it, but couldn't define it. Because I've always said that I'm powerful, but I couldn't define it the way I defined it today. And how many of you are walking around today not knowing how powerful you are? And I want to tell you today that all of you, every single one of us, are powerful. The problem is we have not defined it. We don't understand. We just going about our business, doing things and helping people and taking care of people and being nice and doing all God's work. But it's our nature. You see, that is our nature. We are doing things without knowing the power within you. But the negative force knows your power. You see, your power is real. Your power is God's power. He created you. He breathed that in you. Use it. Get up. It's time to get up and change this wicked world. It is time to get up. And if you're seeing things that are happening, talk about it. If there are children that you know that are suffering, help them. People that are suffering, help them. It is time for us to get up and use and unleash God's power within this earth. Because this earth, it is out of hands. And those of us that are sitting quietly, it is time for you to unleash the power that God gave you. I am going to continue to do God's work around the world. I know sometimes people say I can't use the word God. I've been in situations speaking and they say, well, Dr. Barrow, you can't use the word God. Well, God is joy. God is love. God is all these great things. And if I can't use the word God, who do you think I am? I am unleashing all the powers that God gave me and being in the presence. He's there with me. And I am unleashing all the powers, all the things that he created me to be. So does the word mean to you by not saying it, but when you look at me, I am going to represent who God is. So you can tell me whatever you want to tell me and not say the word God or Jehovah or whatever. Guess what? You are God's representative, my people. So you are going to be confronting a whole lot of things. When people see you, you want to manifest who God is. You do not want to manifest the negativity. You see, God is energy, the positive energy. That's who he is. You see, like I defined it today, God is power, my God. He is power. You see, action. You cannot love yourself and never in action. Huh? You got to be bold. You can't be shy. God is not shy, so why should you be? He didn't create you to be shy and keep your mouth shut and speak politically correct. That's not God. God speaks truth in you. Love yourself. But to love yourself, you have to have that power of God within you. And once you love yourself, you can love anyone. And another thing I want to say, for Christians out there, well, for the world, I should say, if you're sitting up there saying that you love yourself and you're white and you look at a black person and say, I don't like black people, you don't love yourself. You don't even love God. And that's vice versa. If you're a black person and look at a white person and you say, I hate them. You see, I hate them. That's not loving you. No one is going to make me hate me because I dislike what you are doing. It is time for us to get up and stop complaining because we have become professional complainers. We have to make a difference. This about you're white and you're Christian and you're saying that you love God, but you don't love me because of the way I look, because of the color of my skin. That's not love. That That is not love. Don't allow racism to destroy your mind, your life, your children's life, your surroundings. Don't allow that to happen to you, because you will be destroyed. You will. By the lack of knowledge, you will be destroyed. And I'm saying this because oftentimes you think you're doing right. You think because you're going into a temple and you're sitting there preaching and telling all your mouth, oh, I love you. And then when you walk out of a church and you see somebody that don't look like you, you're getting ready to hate. The hate just appears. You can't love two gods. There's only one. And those of you that are not Christians, and those of you that believe in whatever you may want to believe in, or you're non-Christian, or you don't believe in God at all, let me tell you something. Love yourself. Love yourself. Because when you love yourself, trust me, you're going to be successful. So I want to thank all of you today, because today was a special night for me, because this topic is very important. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you do business? If you don't love yourself, how can you even love your children? How can you even love your husband, your boyfriend, whomever? It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. I want to thank you guys tonight. Where's my husband? Sweetie, bring my song out, because I'm going to dance my way out of this show, and I'm going to enjoy myself as for the rest of the evening. I'm going to have a nice little time with my husband today, and we're going to step out and enjoy the evening. Living your best life now. That's what it's about. Let me tell you something. Life is good. You have to make the decision to make it good. You have to bring that positive energy in your life. And guess what that positive energy is? God. God. Come on, dance with me. We got to work together. We need peace. I love you guys. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this show tonight. Come on, we must work. Hand in hand. Yes. Broken land. But we got to get back to God to fix this mess. Yes. Come on now. Peace. We got to work together to find a way. Thank you so much, guys. I love you. Mwah, mwah. Enjoy the rest of your evening. This is Dr. Melida Barrow. I am the author of Unveiling the Illusion. Know who you are. May God bless you. You can subscribe to www.melidaharrisbarrow.com. And also, you can purchase my book. The link is on the Facebook. Join us. I have a page now, Dr. Melida Barrow. Like my page. It's on there. Give it a like. I need you guys to constantly tune in every Thursday from 8 to 8:30 Eastern Time. I love you guys. See you later. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.